We've
Yeah.
done this before where we didn't mean to. This time we mean to. Welcome everyone to I think our first one, Chip, our
Yeah.
first ever live info session for the Dentist Money Summit. I'm Matt. I'm one of the managing partners and senior advisors at Dentist Advisors. Here with Spencer Chipping. We lovingly call him Chip.
Yes.
Our SVP of Business Development, and one of the main people behind the Dentist Money Summit. This is fun, Chip. You and I have never done any content together, so I'm
I know.
excited about this.
I am thrilled to be here, Matt. Yes, absolutely.
I want to really quick as we jump into this, Chip. I think it'd be really so. You are one of the people behind this, but one of many. Can we just give a quick shout out to the committee on this summit?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we got to give a shout out to the committee that puts it all together. When everybody has been an attendee at a summit, but when you really get behind the scenes and know what runs a summit,
So much.
definite shout out to the committee.
Yeah. So Becky, Michelle, Studi, Anna, anyone else on the committee that works directly with you on this?
Yeah, Maddie.
Maddie, yeah. So
Some-
so much work goes into this. It's a year-round project. We feel like it's like Santa Claus. It's like you're ending. It's like on Elf. You end the summit, and then it's like, and let's get ready for next year. And everyone cheers. I'm not sure our team's cheering. I don't know, but it's a lot of work that goes into this. We're really, really appreciative of everyone that all the efforts. So welcome. The purpose of this is just to give information and to go through. We get a ton of questions on the summit. What it is, why would I come? And we're hoping that we can, in this, the next 15 or so minutes, that we can highlight those things of what it is, the logistics, the speakers, the value you'll get out of this. And we're going to do this, Chip. We're going to tease this at the very beginning. We're going to
Yes.
say you are going to want to stay to the end if you're at all interested in the summit. You're going to want to stay to the end of this. We have a little surprise for everybody at the end at the end of this live. So let's
Yeah.
jump in, Chip. How about you just take some time to talk about why?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Why host this?
For sure, Matt. Thank you. As I mentioned before, everyone listening has been to a dental conference before, where you're learning about the clinical needs, the basics, or the how tos inside of the clinical side of dentistry. The purpose of the Dentist Money Summit is for dentist advisors to bring together our clients, our strategic partners and relationships, and all of our advisors and team that works with everyone together. And that is our community here at Dentist Advisors that we have built over many years. And once a year, it provides the opportunity for us to all get together, to work with each other. And then, as Matt mentioned, really hear from some of the best speakers on some topics that are just killer this year.
Yeah, I think that's great. And we were talking about this too. This quote that's right on the website, I think, is a really uh, concise way of this is from an attendee that was there last year that kind of highlights the why of it's great to be able to have friendly conversations regarding money, practices, and our families and our goals in a casual environment. That's what we're setting out to do with this. So, wanted to talk about the theme. So, every single year we have a theme for the summit. And the reason we have a theme, our goal behind this is to make it a unique experience for everyone. We try to have different speakers every single year. Although somehow keep getting invited back, Chip, and somehow I keep making the list. But we try to have different speakers and a different theme because we want it to be uh, a kind of a lens for everyone to be able to look through for that weekend and make it. We feel like it brings more value. So we've done things like plan to be present. That was the last year's theme, and then living your rich life. So trying to give people kind of we feel like a little bit more focus on here's what this weekend's about, and we hope it adds more value. So the theme this year is practice on your terms, and it's really a reflection of how we believe what we believe dentists should be, how they should be approaching their career and their life, is being much more intentional about their career and their life. And that's really what we're trying to accomplish with this. Everyone's going to be speaking in some form or fashion about practicing on your terms. You know, right now, I don't think it's any surprise with dentistry, the unique environment we're in, especially over the last 5 to 10 years, but really over the last like 5 to 6 years, just the rise of corporate dentistry. It's put a ton of pressure on dentists, a lot of unknowns, a lot of kind of paralysis by analysis of where do I take my career. The question of like, is dentistry even a viable career path? Is private practice ownership still a viable career path? We want to kind of bring that all here to this summit around practicing on your terms and being intentional about how you approach your life, and kind of pushing away the pressures that you feel and just defining your own level of success, what success means to you.
Yeah, so well said, Matt. And as everybody can tell, when you hear Matt outline that, and he may have joked at the beginning of the fact that we continue to invite Matt to speak at our summit, but the passion that Matt has in running our organization and around the theme for this year on practicing on your terms, he's so passionate about that Matt is kicking off this year's summit with that theme and with that topic of practicing on your terms. And really, Matt talks a lot about your practice being your most important investment, and how making decisions that align, with your long-term goals between you, your family, your practice, and gets into the weeds there and really defines those. And that is what we're leading out with to kick off the summit. That's speaker number one, Matt. You made it to the
I've moved
kickoff.
up, yeah.
Matt had been following up the kickoff speed to this year. Matt is kicking it off. I'm going to let Matt share the next speaker.
Yeah, the next speaker, he's actually, we as I mentioned before, we try to bring in new speakers every year, which we do. But this is a repeat from 2 years ago, backed by popular demand, Dr. Daniel Crosby. He's a good friend of mine, good friend of ours, of our company. He's just first and foremost, such a good person, so genuine, and aligns so much with how we do things, with just trying to add value and bring insight and education to people. And he does this through speaking. He's written several books, all of them incredible. If you have not read, he's one of my favorites. He's top 3 for me of financial writers. He just does such a good job of blending. He's a PhD. He's a former financial advisor, clinical psychologist. He brings so much data, but makes it so approachable and brings the human element, tells a ton of stories. He was, from our first summit, so many people were like, you got to bring that guy back. Yeah. So we're bringing him back. He's going to talk about why success doesn't always equal fulfillment, understanding your relationship with money, and talking about like finding meaning in your life when work does become optional and you're kind of on to your next journey. So Daniel's incredible. Him alone makes this worth it, let alone everyone else we're going to bring. So with everyone else you're going to hit here, Chip.
Yeah, and I love that Daniel's so personable. For those coming and that are fans and that want to come and meet Daniel, he hangs out after, signs his books for everybody, and it just creates an experience, and that is what we're all about at the summit. He's followed up with Pascal Finette, and this is a renowned author, speaker on culture. I mean, he's a culture expert. And we know that inside practices today, that developing the culture inside the practice is critical to the success. And Pascal will touch on that. He's an expert in business strategies, and we've had a lot of requests for that topic from our clients. He really is all about building future-ready thinking. And in today's economy and with uncertainties that Matt has mentioned, that is an incredible topic to present to our clients. To introduce the next speaker after Pascal, Beverly Flaxington. Beverly Flaxington, she teaches inside the MBA program, and she truly builds leaders and works with large corporations on building great leaders. And again, one of the most frequent feedback pieces that we get from our speakers and from the summit each year is, help me as a dentist, as an entrepreneur, as a leader inside my practice, be a leader to my team. And Beverly is going to take the time on how to lead, developing your brand as a leader, understanding other people. Like that's a huge one inside of practices today. Not only your patients, but also your team members. How to motivate your team members. That is just an incredible topic. And then also recognizing and understanding your leadership styles, because every one of us is different. Matt, I'm excited about who's up next, because comes from our team, near and
I
dear.
know. Yeah, this is almost. I think this is also by popular demand, and really, it's funny. Last year, we had a dinner where Robbie was able to intro some things at a dinner, and you talk about passionship. I'm watching Robbie as he's introing some things, and kind of welcoming everyone to the dinner. And I looked over at Will, who's with me from our team, and I was like, we got to get him to speak next year.
Yes.
You talk about passion, Robbie Demachki, you might know him and love him as Cash GPT. One of my favorite people on the planet, obviously good friend, our teammate, been with us for years. He's our head of investment strategy. Brilliant mind in investing, economy, markets, and we're so excited to have him on the main stage this year, talking about investing with intention and how investments, how to kind of have your investments, the jobs to be done with investing, and how they correspond with your overall life, your goals, with your practice. It's going to be incredible. I'm so excited to listen to Robbie. He and I have reviewed his presentation already, and he's already done, by the way. He's had it prepared, ready to go for months,
Right.
and he's so ready, and it's going to be awesome. And then the next one we're excited about as well. Tried to get him a couple years ago, and just it's been hard to get him in here. But Dr. Richard Lowe, really excited to have him in. He's got a really unique story around burnout and just his path in dentistry, navigating the space at many different levels, and kind of where his journey has taken him now. So talking about how to make dentistry work for your specific life, and how to define success for you. Really excited about that. And then, Chip, we're going to be wrapping up the
Yes.
speakers with a panel this year. We've never
Yes.
done this before. Really excited about this, where we're going to have, I think our goal is to have 4 dentists, right?
Correct.
So
Yep.
we have 3 of the 4 locked down, Dr. Michelle Jorgensen, Dr. Kelsey Ashton, and Dr. Brian Packard. And then we have another one floating out there. We haven't fully confirmed yet, but we're close to pinning them down. And the goal here is what this really represents is Dentist Advisors' approach to how we try to serve the dental community with it, which is across the entire spectrum of a dentist's career and life cycle. And so we're going to have on this panel a dentist who's early on in career, just bought a practice, all the way to a very seasoned practice owner, and even on the verge of exiting practice, and then everything in between. That's the goal. This is going to be moderated by our very own Christine Ewan. It's going to be an incredible way to cap this off.
Yeah, so good. I mean, the thing about that, Matt, is it's inevitable that every dentist goes through this life cycle. But to have these experts in those areas and those that have experienced it is going to be really fun to hear from them.
Absolutely.
So such a fun speaker lineup. And so at Dentist Advisors, not only have we really tried to develop the content, and we have a committee that truly vets out the content that is being presented to you, our clients, and to everybody else that is coming. We've spent a lot of time on that vetting process and fine tuning to just ensure that you gain great content and learn, and we build together as we're there together. But so that's one side of it. So there's a learning and development side of it, but we also recognize the following, that hey, we're busy, and if we're traveling, and it's summertime and school is letting out for our kids, let's go have a good time. So we the last couple of years have been in Park City, and that has been really fun for our clients to be able to go out and mountain bike and to trail run and to enjoy really great dining experiences. And for anyone that has been to Midway, it is no different than Park City, providing all of the outdoor opportunities. So,
Might be better in some ways.
in some ways, man, I would say so. And there's less traffic. So, getting around and into all of the fun venues and restaurants and such. So, just want to talk about some of those activities and things that you can do a little bit. We have the opportunity to schedule fishing, guided fishing hours, so that you can get out onto the Provo River, catch some trout right out of the driveway from the Zermatt Hotel, that you can see that Matt has shared in the pictures here along the way. You can get a side by side and drive into the hills, and you can go on guided tours right across the street. Believe it or not, you can go and scuba dive into a natural well. And I know that sounds crazy, but it is so cool. You got to check it out. It's at the Homestead. We have golf tee times like we always have had on the front and back end of the conference, so that you don't miss anything that's going on at the event. But sync up with your advisor. Take some time. We have 4 tee times scheduled already at Wasatch on the mountain course, which is like very well known and an incredible place to golf, and go play some golf with your advisors. Just a few other items to touch on. So logistically, on this site showcases the link for registering for the summit. And this is a shout out. This is a reminder to all of our clients that when you register, there is no cost. When you go in and register and you select client, you're able to register at no cost for our summit. And we know that is a pretty big difference, aside from other conferences out there today. Along with that, the hotel is there, and it's when you click on the link for registering for the hotel at a discounted rate, that too is available for you. Matt, I think one thing I love seeing is, who comes to the summit and bringing, like, who should attend.
Yeah, I'm glad you went there, because I think we could wrap up with this of kind of just hitting, like, if I'm a dentist listening to this or thinking about the summit, should I come? Am I the dentist who would get value from this? Like, who should come to this summit? I would say if you're a dentist at any stage of your career, you should come to this. If you're looking for more of a unique experience, not a typical crowded dental convention, more of a thoughtful experience to reevaluate how you're approaching your career, reevaluate how you're approaching your life. Just a good opportunity to take a step back, get into nature. One of the coolest parts about this, Chip, is we saw last year of the dentists who met each other there, the like-minded people who became friends at the summit, who met like day one, and then we saw them all hanging out like along the way. It's really, really cool. So if you're a new grad, just figuring out your career path, if you're a practice owner trying to consider intentional growth, if you are a mid-career, just reassessing priorities and how to balance the trade-offs that come with life, or if you're thinking about exiting, any stage of your career, if you're wanting more clarity around your money, your life, your career decisions, this is absolutely the place to be in June.
So good. Matt, I am excited for you to share the special for hanging around.
I did tease this at the beginning, so we have to
Yes.
close this out with, if you're still here, we appreciate it. We hope you got some value out of this, and the goal is to hopefully give you some more insight of why you should come. Another reason we want to help with this is if you're still here listening till the end of this, we want to give a 25% discount to any viewer of this. As Chip said, if you're a client of ours, it's included, but if you're not and you're wanting to come, if you use the code SUMMIT25 at checkout, you'll get a 25% discount at the Dentist Money Summit in Midway this June.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add here, Chip?
Man,
Just logistics wise?
Nope, so good. Excited to see everybody. Check out DM Summit at dentistadvisors.com to get all of the details to register and come see us there and have an incredible time.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks, Chip. Everyone, thanks for listening. We hope to see you in Midway this June.